Hello everyone, it's Two Guys T and D&D here, and today we're going to do something a little different. I found some awesome things over the past week as I've been running games in person recently, and I've had a need for tokens. So after a quick Google search, I found a place which provides a lot of free tokens, and if you pay like a couple of dollars extra, you get access to like a crap ton more. So I think, Lionel, I think the best thing is just to show you what this guy's done for free. And then we'll talk a little bit about him and how awesome playing in person is with tokens. So let me just share this beauty. So this guy is drawn up for free, which I think was a Patreon goal of his. The Orcus sort of miniature.
Yeah.
Just is it loading in? We good?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just take that in. So this guy has released this for free. For free. It's insane.
That's beautiful.
And it's got back versions as well. So you've got a front and a back. You've got some bases to attach it to if you want to print it out, like do it all yourself, or you like attach it to those Pathfinder pawn things. The bases with the slots in. Is this not just amazing?
Yeah, I mean it's great. It's beautiful.
So on his Patreon, he has a big miniature archive of all the free ones that he's released. I think there's some more on his Google Drive which aren't included here as well for free. And then if you pay like $1, you get access to like all the black and white back views and all the other back views. If you pay $2, you get a bunch of reskins. If you pay $3, you get even more reskins.
Mm.
And I pay $3 myself, which is like just enough to keep me going. And this guy's earning quite a bit of money, and it's deserved.
Right.
This is this guy's full-time job now, I think, because $4,000 a month is amazing. So, have you ever used like miniatures in your games?
I actually, I love Theater of the Mind, but I will admit I do. I played some Warhammer back when I took a break from just playing D&D. I think it was second edition at the time, and one of the guys in my group played a lot of Warhammer Fantasy, so he got us into that, and we started using miniatures in that because it's pretty. It's kind of built off that tactical war game, and I got to admit, sometimes it's just really nice. Man, I don't like to use miniatures all the time, like for dungeon crawl stuff. But when you're doing a combat, I think miniatures are nice because there's no question about where you're at.
Yes.
Where you can move to, do you have line of sight, all those sorts of things. So I do like it, but man, miniatures are so expensive. So my miniatures are like little wooden pawn discs that I buy, and I just paint them different colors based on what they represent. But let me tell you those are great. Those are great.
So each one of my players has got their own paper miniature, although I'm going to be painting them their own miniature soon enough. And they're gonna, pay me back for the purchase kind of thing. So, I've got my Ranger. These ones are actually ICRPG ones.
Yep.
Slightly different style. Let me.
And maybe for some of our viewers that don't know what ICRPG is, you could.
Where have you been living?
Get out from underneath your rock already, huh?
So ICRPG is made by a wonderful man by the name of Hank Inferno, although I think he was called Drunkards and Dragons on YouTube, but he's now rebranded to Runehammer, which I think was the name of his company anyway. What am I doing? So yeah, he's made a bunch of these tokens that you can like print out and use with your games.
Yeah.
I haven't actually played ICRPG yet, but I've used the tokens.
Now, I think he's Brandon, right?
Yeah, Brandon.
He's an artist, phenomenal artist. I mean, I love his art. And I think what we'll do is we'll put down below this video, we'll put links to his YouTube channel, and we'll also put a link to the
I'll put a link to their Patreons and
to the Patreon
and everything, because they put out some great work. Because especially when you do, like, for me, I'm doing a dark fantasy campaign right now. So let me just zoom back in with, or focus in quick. So these like fantastic little zombies from the Printable Heroes guy. You've got these lovely, slightly different art style, but it does fit on the same table. These sort of lovely skeletons from Runehammer, which have seen heavy use already. So how I do these, trying to find one that's a bit easier to see what I've done. I'll just take one apart. So these have front and backs, and as you can see, like at the bottom, all I've done is just printed out them, and then like blue tacked one side, and then just hold it up, and it gives a little bit of weight when you're moving around, doesn't blow over, which can be a problem when you're on a map using paper tokens. You know, people are getting up and down, getting drinks or whatever, and these don't get blown over.
You know, something else that would work really well with those, Harry? You can buy these, it's rolls of magnetic tape.
Oh. And
it's sticky on one side and it's magnet on the other. I like to use like a dry erase board.
Yeah.
Playing like in a home group, and metal, so the magnet will stick.
Oh, okay. No, I've got one of those like vinyl Chessex mats.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking, if I wanted to add like a bit of extra weight, especially with some of the bigger ones, like this like Banshee thing from Runehammer, that can blow over quite easily. So I was going to add like a 2p piece to the bottom, just to give it even like a sturdier weight, so it just won't blow over at all. Because this is quite tall and floppy, so it catches the air quite badly. But the problem is, with all this, I have I'm running out of space to store them all. I've got these like Tupperware boxes. It's having the same problem with storing like all of my actual miniatures.
Right.
But at least I don't mind these. If they get damaged, I can just print out more. So, and it costs, you know, a few pence a page.
Right. Versus when you buy actual
versus like £10 a model. Yeah.
Yeah, and they get broken or.
So, oh yeah, I love this little Jalapis cube.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I've yet to use this one, but I know it's going to have a place very soon, because my players are pretty much brand new to D&D. So every experience is brand new. Like every creature they fight is brand new. They hadn't even like heard of it.
The great thing about gelatinous cube is it's basically transparent, so you can literally set it across the hallway, like they're running away and right into it.
Oh yeah. So I just it's great. It's great. Yeah, they'll just never expect that. Like they were never expecting me to trap a crate, like trap a chest. They just didn't realize. They're like, oh, it's a chest. It's got stuff in it. Open it up, smack with a bunch of like arrows in the head. It's great. You can just play all those little cheap like tropey tricks on them, and they're just love it.
You know, actually, I know we're kind of shifting a little bit from our original topic, but hey, it wouldn't be a two guys D&D video if we didn't kind of jump all over the place. But that actually brings up a really good point. Is I think because we've played for a while, Harry, the thing is we take a lot of things for granted, and we forget that newer players don't have those experiences, so it might be corny and tropey to like a veteran, but to a new player, they're like, "Holy crap, that was different. That was amazing," or "I don't believe you did that to me," kind of reaction.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that you're doing that. You give
one player got very unhappy when I kept on rolling 20s. Yeah. I downed him 3 times in one session because I kept on rolling 20s.
Well, you have
I don't play with a screen. I just roll in the open. Because I don't really like to fudge my rolls.
Right. So jumping back on topic, so with those printable pawns, so you could print them out in a sheet.
Yeah.
I think we were chatting before we went live. You can choose the black and white if you subscribe.
Let me go to one of the ones I was talking about. Let's just reset everything. So where is it? Let me share my screen. So one of the newer ones that he's I believe it's a he. Some of their stuff is on the DM Guild thing, and I think it's a he. So one of the things they brought out is like this vampire with a bunch of zombies. So this is sort of this is the thing that you download, the PDF. It doesn't look like any kind of miniature yet until you start clicking on things. So clicking the vampire, there's your front view, your back view. Like, look at these colors. Let me just zoom in and move this. Like, look at it. The detail is just phenomenal. And then you've got different recolors. So there's more of a sort of purpley dark kind of color. This glorious like red armor, purple cape.
I like that one. That one looks very Warhammer.
It does look very Warhammer. And then you've got your black and white one, which is the one I downloaded. And I've lost it again. So bad at this. Where is he? Let me just sort of show you what it looks like sort of in print, he says, as he's struggling to find it. And then obviously the zombies look, again, fantastic.
Yeah.
I need to print out a color one of these. I think I'll do it for the bad guy of my campaign. I'll reprint as a color. Make him special. Probably do this one.
Yeah.
I love this one. So looking at that, and then comparing it to the detail that comes out on the printed version, like there's barely any detail lost. I know my camera's not great, but you can see like all those little highlights and scruffs on his cape, and it's fantastic. Like, this guy is just so like just nice to actually like release these for free.
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
Yeah,
which is why I felt I should support him, so people can continue to get this for free. It's such a fantastic resource. Like, I'm not sure what I would do without these.
Oh, okay. So as you're showing me that, I don't know if it's a half orc or a hobgoblin. I noticed it's female.
Yep.
And another thing you said is his art on these pawns is both male and female. So if you get like bandits, you print off bandits, you're not having all the same bandits. You'd actually have a mixture.
Actually, I may not have some printed off ones. I think I'm not so sure about the goblins. I think they're all male, potentially, but a lot of the sort of humans and elves.
Can you really tell on a goblin? Really?
Not really, no. So these ones I haven't cut out yet, but there you go. So let me zoom in. There's a female bandit with a sword, and against the trope this way around, you got a male one with a bow. Like, usually, trope-wise, it's always the female with the bow and the male up front. This way is completely different, other way around.
Yeah, I love it. Dig it. I just love the style of the artwork.
Yeah, it's mainly like I guess half of my players are ladies, and they're really happy to see that there's a good mixture. Like it really like picks up their enjoyment because they get like tired of seeing, you know, only guys.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They want to kill ladies too.
Well, that brings up a whole different. Here we go, tangent time. That brings up a whole new thing. Like it's like, and why is it when you're playing a fantasy game, all of a sudden it's like all these things go out the window, and you know, we just slay women right alongside the men.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it cuts against my normal grain, but I mean, I understand sometimes if you need to do it, but
Runehammer's got some fantastic like female miniatures as well. These little paper miniatures. Like there's I ran a Harbinger game using the Oath of the Frozen King. So one of my players with this lovely lovely female treader with a you know, gun and a pistol.
Yep.
That was fantastic. I had one that was a what was it? The Mechanist. Actually, I believe she was the Mechanist. She was the Mechanist, and he had this like robot body. The Barrow thingy. Is it Baromech?
Yeah, Baromech.
Like that, but yeah, called Manny. He's a big robot, and he sacrificed himself right at the end. He basically got one shot by the boss because I crit him, and he only had the stats of like a tiger, I think it was. So I did like 45 damage in one round. These were level 3s, which is like enough to kill a level 3 outright. And yeah, they were very afraid of that boss after that because that was the first round of combat.
Right.
Absolutely fantastic. But going back to these, so I think the benefit of using tokens for like low level and newer players, I think it really, 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 really helps.
I think it helps with the mechanics, right? It helps them to understand this is how far I can move. This is what I can do mechanically in the game. And I think it just it grounds them more. Because, right, not everybody learns the same way. If you're not a hands-on learner or if you're not a visual learner, theater of the mind, you can rock that all day. But guess what? That's not everybody's strong suit. So I'm a visual person myself, and I really like to be able to see. And that's why I unfortunately, when I'm playing in a game and I'm a player, I hate that I do this, but I do it. I'm constantly asking the game master, okay, where am I in relation to everybody else? And it's like every turn I'm asking that. I mean, I'm not taking a lot of time to ask that, but I just need to refresh it in my mind and say, okay, who's closest to me before I actually like.
Yeah, that's something I tend to struggle with as well. And I love having just some kind of map, not even if I don't even like use it constantly, just having some kind of visual, something that I can look at really helps my imagination like form the area that we're fighting in. But I don't know. I've been sort of doing a mixture of like when we were doing the first encounter of the last session was an ambush. Well, they stumbled in on an ambush because we had one player joining the campaign. So I was like, let's chuck him in. He is being ambushed by goblins. The party, you know, stumble in on it, help him out. And, you know, I sort of ran out of space because the goblins, like, stole the wagon and started, like, charging down the road. Players are running up to catch up because I had all their stuff in. But you run out of space. So I was like, okay, let's just try and, like, use just our imagination going forward. And I think they really enjoyed the sort of step forward, having run out of space on the battle map instead of me taking, you know, a break to mid-combat just to like wipe it out and draw the next bit. We went into theater of the mind. I think you just do it in little steps.
Right.
Do it in little steps.
And I think it's like knowing your table, knowing when to shift into theater of the mind. Like I wouldn't always bust out the battle map and the miniatures for every confrontation, you know, because I don't know if it's necessarily always needed. But I think the more complicated the scenario, the easier it is, because I think what happens is you lose precious game time, play time, when folks are doing like I do and saying, all right, wait a second. So 3 of these brigands are standing next to my character and 10 feet away. And plus, I think as a game master, you can lose track of that. I always do it, even if I'm not doing it with my players. I always at least track on like a whiteboard where players are moving, who's near them. So when players ask me, I can kind of give them
I had quite a large area that I was working with, and it was quite complicated. I had six goblins, 6 of these. One of the like hobgoblin leaders, plus, you know, 4 player characters, 2 NPCs, carts. I had a lot to sort of keep track of. I know it's on a straight road with a bridge, but there was hills on either side, and it was a real, you know, it would have been a real struggle to make, you know, let everyone know where everything is each time.
Right.
And it's a very combat-oriented group. So
yeah. And I know another alternative is something that Matt Click from Fistful of Dice had mentioned one time, and that's the 3-card system. Have 3 different distinct zones in an encounter. Yeah. And I've used that before, and it works really well, but it takes a little bit more prep, which I'm kind of lazy and I don't like to do the prep. But when I have used it, what I do is then I have the 3 index cards with the zones and things they can interact with there. But what I'll do then is then move the player pawns to each one, so I'll know.
So here is a very, very, very scruffily drawn battle map of what it was. But you can see, like, it's, you know, pretty simple, but like keeping track of like the goblins on this side, that side, like up here, down here. It was, you know, hectic. But yeah, this is how I prep my games now. I've gone like full on like DM journal.
Yeah,
writing notes.
You went full on Runehammer.
Yep.
Because he keeps some phenomenal campaigns.
I mean, mine's way scruffier. I don't have beautiful handwriting like he does, or beautiful drawings.
Looks pretty good. I like it.
But it's natural. It's, you know, there was the start of my little like Moloch thing that I did. I was like, yeah, it's actually, because I thought it was a really good start, especially, you know, teleporting the wizard around. You're just like, oh, and he pops here, and then like it's the anticipation of where I'm going to drop the actual token.
Yep,
was quite fun for my players, because they really like didn't know what was going on until they sort of twigged, like, oh, he's teleporting to the different spaces, like using the runes and stuff. It was good. Fantastic. And then yeah, it was just great. And then I had like my little Halloween game using Oath of the Frozen King, like sort of setting out my spaceship that they were on.
So yeah, so jumping topics yet again, but you brought it up, Gary. So Oath of the Frozen King from Absolute Tabletop just recently dropped, like what, maybe a couple weeks ago?
I think we got it a week early for those that kickstarted it.
Oh, okay.
I think like 2 weeks ago, something like that, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So honestly, I have it. I've just quickly looked at it as I downloaded it, but I did not dig into it. But it sounds like you have.
I've run it twice, and I'm about to run it for a 3rd time on Wednesday.
So let me ask this question. This is going to be the honest review. What do you think? Is it really just that quick? Can you just like say, oh, let's throw some stuff at my players and pull it together and just do a couple of rolls?
I did a slightly shortened version of Oath, because you don't have to add everything. You don't have to do everything. So this was basically a 4-ish room dungeon. So that's my prep, just these pages. That took all of, I think, 15 minutes to write all that. So that's how easy you just pick it up and you're done. you just quickly roll a couple of things. Like you can just get, do the drop dice method, drop a bunch of stuff. You look through the tables, roll a couple more things, you're done.
Yeah. So 0 to 5 stars. Where would you put it?
Oh god. Probably 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
From my personal view, like, yeah, definitely a 5. I've already, got my money out of it.
Right. And we will just say that we didn't talking about Oath of the Frozen King. So this is not really like
this is just one of our tangents.
Review. This is just, one of our many tangents.
I did a short video on it last week by myself. So if you haven't seen that, check that one out.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
I really hated editing that, Lionel. It was a solid 2 minutes of that, which I edited out of just It was all really, really bad. Went down from 9 minutes to like 7 minutes.
Right.
Just editing like each little chunk out.
Well, it's a good thing we don't edit these videos, Harry, because our like 40-minute rambles would be like 5 minutes.
It might be a cohesive video, but it's not our little duo style. We're just rambling about miniatures and games and
I think of like Tim and James Kearney when they first started doing videos. I think I would put us somewhere like they were at the beginning. They kind of just rambled when they first started. And I've noticed over time their videos got more focused. I haven't seen that with us, but hey, I guess we're just taking
much
our
more
own
professional than we are.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, especially looking at like the quality of their videos, like in the last like a year, they've really gone so professional with what they do.
Yeah.
But it does help that they probably live like 10 minutes away from each other.
Right. Yeah. If you and I could sit, next to each other in the same room, we would definitely.
Yeah. Well, maybe one of these days I'll be in America. I'll be getting the hell out of England and working in America, but we'll see.
It's a land of opportunity, Harry. It's a land of opportunity.
It is.
Especially if you're not from America.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, one other thing about tokens as we're going back to this. So this guy I think also released some free like conditions tokens.
Oh.
So if I can get it off the bloody bottom of this box because they're flat. So things like like Hunter's Mark and Hex and like being restrained, I think is just so like can be quite difficult to keep track of like who's hexed and who's Hunter's Mark. So he made these little tiny bits of artwork. Stick that next to one of the guy that's hexed, and then like move it around when you need to. This really makes my job so much easier.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be my job to keep track of who's hexed.
You know what I use? I use those little colored glass tokens.
Yeah, those little.
And I use I don't know what they. Yeah, like bead things, and I set those by the tokens when they're under the influence of.
He's made like a bunch of different ones.
Yep.
It's like being on fire, wherever it is there. Being poisoned and I don't know what speech bubble. Confusion would probably be the one over here.
Right. Or maybe that's like a charm or something.
Yeah, or charm.
They're
like blinded. Not sure what that one is. It's like a
bless.
A bless. Yeah, it could be bless. Yeah. But yeah. So I mainly use them for like hex and restrained and stuff like that.
Yep.
But the world of tokens is something I'm, I guess, new to. Like I had never really played in person before. It was always online. Whether completely theater through the mind using like mainly with the guys from AppTab, the AppTab group, or through my other home group, which we do on Roll20.
Right.
And then when I was GMing, I would sort of go away from drawing like battle maps and moving around tokens, just having a map and then just to give them play, and then the rest is all theatre of the mind.
Yeah.
Apologies if you can hear things in the background. Maybe not. There's fireworks going on.
No,
that's good then. Yeah, it's that weekend in the UK where it's lots of fireworks.
Oh, excellent.
Because we're celebrating like the failed attempt at blowing up Parliament.
There you go.
Some Catholic guy decided he wanted to try and have a Catholic rebellion in a Protestant England, and didn't work. So we celebrate that. But yeah. Oh, right. I think that about wraps up our ramble.
Yeah. I feel pretty good about it.
I will link the wonderful artists of these two kinds of miniatures down in the description. Below, I'll link their Patreons and all that jazz. So yeah, I think take away from this, give it a go. What are these? Are these ones mostly free? Just download them, give it a go, see if you like using tokens and miniatures. If you don't, whatever, you've got some cool artwork to inspire you for something else. Like, just think about if you're, maybe doing like Oath of the Spider Queen and getting a bunch of these spider tokens, terrifying your players with these. They're cheap, they're cheerful, they're amazing quality. I think just take that away and try and run something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think join us next time for whatever topic we decide to do 5 minutes before.
There you go. I love it. That's the sell. That's the sell right there.
All right. See you next time.
All right. Take it easy.